Live on YouTube.
We're live on YouTube?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's pushing record, so we'll start when you're ready.
So when I'm ready.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome everybody once again to the If I Said It, I Meant It podcast.
Bite my tongue for no one.
I joined as always by my good friend.
I am Buzz Lightyear. I come in peace.
And
So
we
if you-
also got who do we have as a guest? Can you talk on the mic?
Yeah, I guess I'm Easy E today.
You
But,
guess.
yeah, it was a last minute costume, so I just went with it.
Looks good, dude. Looks good.
Thanks, appreciate it.
What costume? You know what I realized is it's really hard to see through the little eye holes.
Yeah, I had to put you up on the mic a little bit.
Yeah, and then I don't know how I'm gonna drink.
That sounds like a problem. Maybe we should get you a straw.
Yeah, well, either that or I'm gonna have to reveal my true identity.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
But for once in my life, it's actually difficult to see through little eyes.
But actually, everybody knows Iron Man, so it's like.
Yeah,
you're
that's
really
true at this
hiding
point.
anything.
Tony Stark has already announced it, so
Yes.
we'll just go ahead and put this up on top of my head as if it were a hat.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
fine.
I'll just look down this way whenever I need to look at the camera. So we'll see. So for everybody watching us live or listening, I guess it sounds like we're stupid if you're just listening to us, but if you're watching us, we're in costume.
Yes. No, I'm really Buzz Lightyear.
You're really buzzed.
Yes. I don't know what you're talking about.
Buzzed like.
Apparently, Coltrane 33 doesn't like my costume.
What is Coltrane 33 dressed up as?
A sad man. Looks like.
Can't wear the same costume you wear
Every day.
Every day, yeah. So, it is Halloween, October 31st, our first ever inaugural kickoff singular annual.
Before we get into it, I want to first off say happy birthday to Michelle.
It is Michelle's birthday.
Happy
Michelle's
birthday, Michelle.
Secondly, for the men and women out there that have joint custody with their kids, like for instance you,
That'd be me.
you are. I'm sure you saw RJ today,
I did.
but obviously you're not there to see the trick or treating. So cheers to you guys. I know it's not a fun day, but we'll make the best of it.
We will.
So cheers to the men and women out there that have to share their kids or whatever, and it is what it is. But I know you'll have them next year.
Last year I had RJ and he dressed up. We took him around the neighborhood. He got a bunch of candy, and so that was cool. This morning though, he dressed up. He was up early, and I mean, fucking early.
He was ready to go?
He was ready to go, and I was just
Was
like,
he in character though?
dude, go fucking back to sleep.
Yeah.
And he was like, Dad, I'm just gonna lay out my outfit. And I said, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Just
as long
leave me
as you
alone."
Don't wake me up again. For once, I didn't have to be up early to catch my driver, so I was trying to sleep my ass in. It didn't work. So he got to be Black Panther. He was super pumped up about it. A little disappointed. We made a spear for him to be Black Panther, and I guess the school said no weapons.
No weapons, yeah.
So I mean, it was just a PVC pipe with foam on the top.
He probably could have still hurt somebody if he swung hard enough.
Yeah, probably, but it's PVC. But anyway, he got to wear his claws and his mask, and Yvette, my fiance, bought him his costume. It's the Iron Man or the Black Panther with the muscles built in, and it lights up. So he was.
Question: I haven't bought a costume in a minute. Are costumes really expensive now?
I think she spent like $50 or $60.
I bought this for
That's-
$35.
That sounds to me. That sounds about pretty average, I guess.
That's not bad, but
Yeah.
when you look at it's a child's costume and it's half the size, and it's a little outrageous. But all in all,
I mean, that's just a sought out costume right now, though, right?
yeah, exactly. What
Usually the most popular ones are kind of.
there was
pricey.
about 7 different Iron Mans, or I keep saying Iron Man. That's me. Black Panthers at the school when I dropped him off. 2 were actually black kids, so
That was already the one up right there.
RJ took 3rd, but it's cool, and they do a trunk or treat at his school where everybody parks and they open their trunks, and the parents give out candy and stuff like that. So it was cool.
Never did that in our elementary.
Um,
Not that I can think of.
I don't remember. I know we used to walk around like grandma's house or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry. We actually really didn't introduce. This is my brother Sai.
Oh,
We just said
how's it
you're
going?
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those listening that can't see us on IG or YouTube,
I'm his little brother that he keeps talking about. That
it's not as good looking as me.
better looking one,
Yeah.
to be exact. Yeah.
Yeah. Silence proves. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not jumping in the middle of that one. But we'll ask your mom when she comes on next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Which son she loves more. She's made it very clear to us when you weren't on the show.
You better have that martini thing.
Out. Yeah.
Now.
Oh yeah, we gotta bring that
Yeah,
martini thing
for
out.
sure.
Back. We gotta actually put out all the decorations that your mom
Shit.
puts out. But I don't know if you noticed as we walked in the studio, there's all kinds of Halloween decorations on the outside. About a week ago, I asked Rich. I said, "Hey, so who decorated the studio?" And he just, my mom. I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. There was no like, hey, we can take this down. It's kind of like it is what it is. You know what I mean?
It's up. We're leaving it up. It's Halloween. Now, I don't know what you're gonna do tomorrow. You're gonna have to take all that stuff down, but I think your mom's gonna want it back.
She'll probably come take it down, knowing her.
She'll take.
Yeah. She'll take it down and put fucking Christmas shit up.
Is she gonna skip Thanksgiving?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not.
I don't skip Thanksgiving.
You really can't, like, decorate for Thanksgiving unless it's inside the house.
Yeah,
You don't decorate outside the house.
You know, I have a what do they call the scarecrow, and he's kind of like happy Halloweenish. So I guess you could probably roll that over into a Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You're right. Though, a lot of people just skip over fucking Thanksgiving like it's a holiday that.
I hate that. I love Thanksgiving. I think that's what's wrong with society.
I
We've
mean,
stopped
I went to
giving thanks
Walmart
for
like
things.
2 weeks ago to go get like a charger, and
It's already-
they already have Christmas
Yeah.
stuff, like a whole section of Christmas ready.
And it's like everything on fucking Thanksgiving's on clearance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, happy Halloween to everybody. I like this. This was actually a good costume. When you walked in, I immediately knew who you were. And
Thanks.
for me to know who he was, like, that's impressive.
You're Luke, right? Uncle Luke?
It literally took
Uncle
little
Luke.
to no effort whatsoever to put this costume together.
Because you had all that same fucking.
I had everything but the chain. All I did was spend $10 on my costume, which this is $10, and it's plastic. It's not even like that.
It's
It's,
like real
it's not even that swap meet fucking gold. You know?
That gold plated,
Yeah.
like aluminum,
Yeah. Nothing but silver.
nothing. Remember that place?
I do remember
used
that
to be
in
able to
Long
go
Mall.
in there. You used to be able to get like earrings and stuff, and you know when I had my ears pierced, I'd go in there and
That was a sad time in your guys'.
dude, they would last a solid 2 weeks before they started turning your ears green.
Green.
Do you remember he had his tongue pierced?
Yeah,
Yeah. I had SpongeBob. SpongeBob
Hey,
sweatpants.
How did that work out?
it felt great.
I'm talking about for other people. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
It was fine.
Okay.
No complaints.
I had mine for
It
years.
only got taken out because my stupid regional manager at the time, he was like,
You're selling phones.
yeah, but I already had been doing it for like 4 or 5 years, and he was like, you know, you need to take that out. You need to be more professional. And I'm like, why? So then I started taking it out like every day before I went to work, and then it was getting more and more difficult to put it back.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just like left it out for like a day and a half, and it was like almost. I felt like I was piercing it again. It hurt.
Yeah.
So I just left it out, and then I think Coco still has her fucking tongue pierced. She's like the only person I know like
It still has it.
that still has her tongue pierced.
I had mine pierced, and I was taking it out when I was working in the bank, putting it back in every day. And I also had my lip. I was taking that out, putting it back in.
You said your lip or your dick?
My lip.
Okay.
And then I had 5 earrings, so you know it was like a procedure to take them all out, put them all in every single day. So eventually I just said, you know what?
Did you ever have your
It's not
eyebrow
worth it.
pierced
No.
like everyone else?
I wanted it. I wanted to pierce right here, but I just never I never got around to it. And I started-
You had your ear pierced, right?
I had my ear pierced. I was saying I didn't have my eyebrow pierced.
No, you had your eyebrow pierced.
What about
I
you?
have I've never had.
You've never pierced
No,
anything?
Nope.
No tattoo. Neither one of you have tattoos.
No.
I don't care for them, like personally. I can on other people, but not for myself.
I wanted one, but I never found anything that I wanted so bad that like I had to put on my body.
Yeah.
So eventually I got to the point where like I was like, I'm a little too old to probably get a tattoo now. If I don't have tattoos already, I'm already a little too old to be like, you know, I'm gonna get my first tattoo at 35. Like, let me get a swan's fucking on my fucking back or something, you know? And-
Do a tramp stamp.
yeah.
Or like
shit.
Steve will get your self-portrait on your whole bag.
While for buying, I think
Yeah.
is what it was.
Yeah, they were like,
Oh, with
off-roading.
Henry Rollins right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing was
That was
pretty
that
cool.
was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
It was like just a bunch of dots.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I think like when you have a kid, that might be a good time to like do something.
Yeah,
You
but
know
my
what I
pull-out
mean?
game's strong, so
Yeah. You might just have to get a tattoo of like tissues.
maybe I should get a or a couch with my kids on it.
Exactly. You should do a sock and just be like, these are all my kids.
No,
throughout the
that's
years.
a difficult. I can't put a sock on my body. The Red Sox just beat us. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't
This
do
would
it.
be a sticky white sock.
Why you bring up bullshit right now, dude?
Yeah.
It's a sad time.
It was rough. It was rough for LA. But you know what? The bottom line with that is we got our ass kicked. And sometimes when you get your ass handed to you, it really helps you realize.
Yo,
where you're
I
at.
feel like last year's was worse.
No,
Because-
not at all.
No?
Not at all.
Last
Dude,
year's
I feel like
hurt more,
Last year's hurt more, but
but it wasn't worse.
It was-
Okay, I'm sorry, I worded that wrong. Yes, it definitely they should have won last year. That's
should have won this year too. I'm gonna fuck. We were in 3
Yep.
of the 5 games. I
Yep.
mean, obviously the one to be won, but like we had a chance to win. I don't want to. talk about it.
Boston also had more wins than us this year though too, right?
Total, yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, baseball's baseball. I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean the percentage is low. You know, it's not miles different.
There's a lot of 100-win teams that never win a championship.
I didn't even watch game 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch
A lot of
game
people did, and I
I,
talked with people at
watched
work.
it. I watched it. Well, yeah, obviously you dropped me off after the football
Yeah,
game.
I went home and watched it. Richard and I went to the. Oh yeah, my son.
Oh, you went to the Rams game, right?
Yeah, the Rams.
No,
Packers game.
no, we went to the Packers.
Dude,
Rams.
Again, so you went to the Rams game.
Bro.
I'm
it
saying
was-
the Rams because they also obviously won.
Well,
Sorry,
but that's
I'm sorry.
it's not like a fight where you put the winner first, like boxing, you put the winner first. No, this you go by home field.
Dude, there was so many fucking Packer fans there.
It was
I-
funny.
I had a lot of friends there, and most of them were Packers fans.
Yeah, yeah.
And they definitely.
It was like I want to say 2/3 Packers, and I think that's a fair. You were there. It seems like a fair estimate. 2/3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not even like half. I think it was
Like
like
60.
2/3.
Like
When we
6%,
went to go
yeah.
see the Raiders back, like I don't know, maybe about
In San Diego?
8 years ago or so. Yeah, in
Mhm.
San Diego, it was literally 50-50. It was
Maybe
wild.
more, yeah. It was probably similar
Yeah.
to that situation.
Like
It was
everyone around us that was in the parking lot tailgating was all Raider fans.
Yeah, the entire row behind us were Packer fans. The row in front of us seemed to be mostly Ram fans.
The row that we were in, because it was, cause I'm a season ticket holder for the Rams, so everybody on that row, like I've seen multiple times, so they
Yeah.
were all Rams fans for the most part. Dude, it was a fucking home game for the Packers. I'm surprised like no Rams player like called out like Ali. I would. I'd be like,
Yo, what,
"Dude,
yeah.
you guys need to show up. Like,
Why
there's
did-
there's
I would have said something. We're 7-0, and we have to go and use away hand signals. You know, on third down.
yeah,
Because
silent counts and shit.
it, to me, it would have been insulting. They got booed. I mean, when they ran out on the field, you heard them being
Booed,
booed,
yeah.
and to be booed at your own your home field.
Like if I was a player, I'd be like, look, if we get home field advantage, we need to make that shit work. Like if we play the Packers in the fucking playoffs,
Yeah, don't sell your tickets.
yeah, we can. You can. I mean, I'm going to, but
Well, yeah, but I don't consider you a Rams.
yeah.
fan,
But I think that's the problem is there's a lot of people that are doing what I'm doing, where they just buy season tickets and then sell them.
Yeah.
They go to the games they want to go to, and you know.
Yeah, and I don't blame them for that. For the first time in many, many years, there's been football in Southern California. So I think a lot of people are just wanting to watch the game and watch football. But it's a transient city. It's because we've been, I'm a Packer fan because for years there was no NFL team here. I had to pick a team, so I picked the Packers. And
No,
You know.
was this back when Favre was.
oh, of course.
Okay.
Like,
I don't know.
I'm not
I don't know
gonna
how long
lie.
you've been a fan. Though.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. When they were in the Super Bowl, it's like, okay, they're the best team. Like, I'm going with them. And then we had many years of Favre just throwing away season after season. Yeah, but I had to choose a team. We didn't have a team here, so all right, cool. Let's go with
How
the Packers.
many of the home Brandon games did you go to this year? Out of the
I've been to 2. I don't know how many they've had. I've been to 2 though. Yeah, I don't know.
It's been cool.
I didn't go to the Thursday night game. I kind of wanted to against the Vikings, but you know when someone pays $50 over what you paid for the ticket, then
You give them away.
you kind of sell them,
You
you know.
give them away. It was pretty funny. We were sitting there and there was I wouldn't say she was hot, but she had a killer body, totally fake, implanted all over the place, ugly face.
Total LA.
Total LA. And she's in 2 rows ahead of us, and
I
some
just
dude-
just FYI.
no, I said hi, and then she was there though, so it's okay.
I'm just fucking around. This chick just fucking joined the live stream.
So a guy walked up to this very curvaceous woman in the front row, and I give him credit. He had balls. He walked up to her while we're all watching him, and he starts hitting on her, like, "Hey, what's up? Give me your number. Like, let's go out." And we're all cheering for him, like, "Come on, dude, you got this."
But he was like standing on like there's sort of like a step to like get to her, so he was like standing on it. And after a while, I was like, "Dude, you're fucking blocking the way. Like, we're trying to watch the game."
Yeah,
you
at
know?
first it was during the commercial break with the people with the
Like, we
orange
get it,
gloves,
yeah, yeah.
and it's like, okay, like we don't care about the people during a TV timeout, so no big deal. But then the game started coming on, and he's still standing there like trying to spit game. He's got it. Cool, you got the number. You're in. Get the fuck out of the way. And so we're like,
So there wasn't anywhere for him to sit, like
No,
like
not
that even
really.
speak
But
to her?
what he could have done was just gotten off the rail and
just
like,
stand and talk to her.
lean down and was spit game at her. But he decided he would stand and block everyone's view. So finally, I was just like, "Yo, we got your back, but move! Like, let's go, let's do this."
Talk to her in the fucking
Talk to
hallway.
her.
Or whatever
So
the
I
fuck it
finally
is.
yelled out, like, "Grab a titty and move! Like, let's get this fucking out of the way."
They were nice.
He grabbed it and ran.
And so he did his game, boom, cool, moves, and then everybody's cheering for him, like, "Yeah, you got it! Now, fucking get out of the way." It's like it was like 4 minutes left in the game.
It was a
and
crucial
close,
part.
So get the fuck out of the way. But yeah, it was fun. I grab a titty and go. See, you bet, got it. Grab a titty and go.
Get the fuck out of
Get
here.
the fuck out of the way. We're
I mean, he wasn't
trying to watch
blocking
the game.
me because
I like to.
He had a
I had
different angle.
yeah.
He was blocking me, and he was blocking the people in front of me too.
For
so,
sure, yeah.
So they were cool. They were Rams fans, and we didn't have any problems, but it was close. It was very much on the brink of
There's a lot of
breaking out.
like issues though, like with people like fucking yelling at each other. Like
Yeah.
Packer fans are a little,
Aggressive.
yeah, and so were Rams fans. I was really more worried for RJ. Like I was
Yeah.
like, dude, like if some shit went down, like what is our plan of attack here? You know what I mean?
We got an 8-year-old. Now I will say this
There's
about
no
everybody.
attack. It's like leave.
Well, that's what I
But
mean.
you
Like,
can't.
how do you get out of there? Like
Yeah.
we've been in our seats. Like it's not. There's fucking 8 people to the right of you, and there's.
I'm
20
sure,
people to the
honestly, like knowing you, like you just would react, won't even think. I
Yeah,
think you
pretty-
just like. I'm not saying you would exactly do this, but I
You
feel
just
like
gotta
you'll pick them up and just like
Get,
go
get
through
to a
like
safe.
like you'll be like football mode and just
Yeah.
get through people.
left. Yeah, but dude, it's not
It's
that
hard.
easy.
I know
Yeah,
it's not easy,
that
but I just
easy.
know like him.
You
like,
have a 1 foot fucking.
I feel like
blocker.
he would react a lot quicker than you would. Though.
I don't
being
think
honest.
he was closer to some of the issues than I was. But you know what? I'll say this: the people around us, Rams fans, were extremely respectful. Even while they were cussing, I overheard them telling each other like, "Yo, come on! There's a kid right here. Watch your mouth." So they tried to earmuff it. They tried to, censor some of their foul language. But hell, this guy cusses in front of them all the time.
I was about to say,
They do,
I'm
and they
sure
try, but
yeah.
and
I
hey,
try
listen,
too. All right.
as long as everybody recognizes that there is a small child here, I'm not
I
starting.
did say sorry, everyone. Like, oh my bad. I'm sorry.
And I'm a passionate person. When I'm by myself, I'll talk a lot more shit. But I got my son there, so I'm not trying to start anything. The people in front of me, talking back and forth with them, they were really cool. I think about the Brian Stowe issue. I think about all the people that have gotten in fights at the Raider games and things like that. If you're not starting shit, usually, very rarely do people just walk up and start a fight.
Don't start no shit. Don't be no shit. I feel like there's a song after that.
Don't start no shit. Don't be no shit.
I want to see what happens. Let's
Okay.
run through it.
So I've never been to a Raider game. I think if the Raiders played the Packers and I went, let's say it's in Oakland, I would still wear my Packer jersey,
I wouldn't suggest it.
but I'm not going to talk shit to people. I'm not sitting in the black hole, but
Yeah.
I really don't foresee people really causing a whole lot of drama.
It's bothering me. There's like a little gnat running around. It's fucking bothering me.
The same way that the Giants, when they come to LA, they wear Giants gear. When they're not talking shit, when they're not causing any shit, I mean, people don't really fuck with them. But you are gonna get, You have to be able to take shit talking, but it doesn't mean that like people are just gonna walk up and punch you. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think that if you go to the Packer game, do not wear. No, I want to run through. I want to see what happens. If you go to the Packer Raider game, like I would love to see what happens. Like I don't think there'd be problems, but Raider fans are very unpredictable. So
Like I said, I wouldn't sit in the black hole and wear green and stand out like that. But you know, the same way that there's a lot of Raiders that go to Packer games. There's a lot of.
yeah, but
I don't think it matters.
I think you're right though. If you start mouthing off,
Oh, there's gonna be an
then
issue.
there's gonna be issues. But if you're just there to cheer on a team, like yes, clap,
Yeah.
like whatever, like you're not yelling at them. First down,
Yeah.
first down. Yeah.
If you're not obnoxious, you're not gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I think if you respect them, I think it'd be fine. But
And that's, I mean, you heard some of the talking, the cheering that I did at the Rams game. Nobody really got mad at me for anything that I did, and I think I talked a little more shit. But like the guys in front of us, we were having like what I would say would be intelligent football conversation. You know, reviews.
did you ever
and-
punk that guy that left me?
No.
Or the guy behind me. I mean, not punk him, but like he was like, "Oh my god, why wouldn't he fucking catch the ball?" It was a punt, right? And I said, "Because the ball landed in the 5-yard line. Like,
Yeah, you have to.
you don't catch if it's under the 10, you don't catch
You
it.
don't catch
like,
it. You hope that it rolls into the end zone.
Yeah,
I
or-
remember that punt. That was the
or-
punt away from us.
Yeah, and he was like talking shit, and I'm like, dude, you don't catch those. Like, you don't even fair catch them. You just hope that they roll to the end zone.
Nowadays, some people, I've seen a lot more fair catch on the 10 because punters have gotten really good at dropping it right at the line of out of bounds line. But yeah, back in the day, it used to be you don't catch anything under 20. Now it's kind of 10 to 15 yard line guys are still fair catching them, so they don't get downed on the one. And the Rams did a good job on that punt. In fact, it ended up being a safety.
Oh yeah, they did on the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, perfect play. That one hurt.
They lost.
God, that one hurt.
So Halloweeny.
I think everybody got deprived, by the way. at the Rams game.
Seeing, I feel like I did. I wanted to see Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron, yeah. But I mean, even if it doesn't end up, the Packers still lose. Everybody in that stadium missed out on. Could Aaron do a 2-minute drive, no timeouts? I think maybe we had one. Just see how far we could go. That's what hurt. Like what could have been, but it happens. The Packers are like my fantasy team this year, though.
Terrible. Mine. Hey, I got my first win.
Yay!
I beat Ryan. I texted him. I was like, "I love you, man."
No
I
response.
hope you're not mad at me, but I love you, bro.
You're
So-
you're this Ryan's a slump buster.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, wait, that's not very nice.
Well, it happens.
Yeah. So what do we got on the schedule today?
So it is Halloween.
We got trick or treater.
No.
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 Candy's still there.
Candy's still there. We have a bowl outside our studio, a large bowl of candy sitting there.
It looks
Good,
like I'm
and
gonna
good
be-
candy too.
It's good candy.
Yes, I'm gonna be having
Reese's
that.
Pieces is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm gonna have that shit for a while now.
Well, no, we'll go through it. But no one's touched your candy.
That
Wait,
sounds
which
weird.
way? Are you, what are
That
you
sounds
talking
totally
about?
weird.
Yeah, that's something.
And it depends on like what time of the day it is.
It might be. Oh, well, let me put it this way. No kids have touched your candy.
Well, I hope they don't. I don't want any of them to ever come close to this. Stay away from me.
I think that made it worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible.
It's terrible. So we put a bowl of candy out and wanted to see how many kids would come and take one piece, take the whole bowl. I don't know. At this point, it's really hard to do a case study when
You don't have one kid come up.
kids show up.
I remember there was like a time I went to when I would go trick or treating. I had been to Downey, the really
The
nice
nice part.
the really nice part of
Yeah.
Downey. I would go there purposely because they give out like king size
Mm-hmm.
everything. That was my shit.
But yeah, we haven't had any children walk by. No one has taken candy, so I'm wondering if
And
they're
it has
just-
been dark for like what, at least a half hour now.
Yeah,
right?
It's already 8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock, so
Oh,
kids
maybe like
should
an
be out. It's past my bedtime, so I don't know what's going on
Maybe they're too young to trick or treat in our studio neighborhood.
in your studio neighborhood. I don't know what age do you two remember trick or treating?
Remember?
Yeah. What do you remember? Like, what's your earliest? When did you start?
I'm sure we went trick or treating when I was fucking born, dude. Like
Really?
that first year. Yeah, I'm
like
positive.
they would probably push us in a stroller or like a wagon or something.
At that point, it was candy for the parents.
Yo, the only thing I can remember though, like that we did every year, we're the only family that had pillowcases.
Yeah, we would have pillowcases for our.
We would have pillowcases on purpose because we would show up with our little bag to get the candy, and when that was full, we'd throw that candy in the pillowcase, and then show up to every house with an empty bag.
So it looks like you had
Yeah,
less candy.
it looks like we had less
And
candy.
I don't know, my mom thought that like people would.
Yo, my
be
mom
pity on
hustled
us.
that so well.
She'd be pity on us and be like, "Oh, these little kids don't have any candy. Let's put some in there." Not realizing there's a big ass fucking duffel bag full of fucking candy in the stroller and shit.
So you guys didn't do the McDonald's bucket with the Happy Meal, and you got that.
Oh, I'm sure
We
we
did, but
that.
we had in the stroller we had a pillowcase. So we would do,
Pillowcase. That was
we'd
the-
fill it up halfway,
Uh-huh.
then we dump it in the pillowcase, and we go to the next. Like let's say it takes like 5 houses to fill
Yeah.
up halfway. Then we would dump it out, and then every time it would be like,
Yeah, because the parents or whoever is passing out
Mr. Production Value over here is fucking about to eat a Reese's Pieces.
Well, if the kids aren't gonna take it, I'm gonna take it, because nothing goes better with whiskey than Reese's Pieces. Well, no, these are Reese's Cups.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Reese's
Yeah.
Cups, my bad.
Oh, Gordon.
I mean, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
What about you? What about you? Or do Japanese people celebrate Halloween?
No.
Is it Halloween every day? Because you guys are always ninjas or samurais?
Oh, fucked up. Fucked up.
Racist card?
Yeah.
The racist
We should have racist cards.
That would be awesome.
I just
Wait,
you know,
what color would it be though?
it would have to be every color of the rainbow.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Shit.
Red, white, blue, yellow. Definitely black,
Green.
green. Yeah. I actually didn't trick or treat door to door when I was a kid. We would always find like the church fairs or the parks where, and maybe this is the Asian in my family, but it was like the most efficient way to get the most amount of candy with the least amount of effort. So we would go and we'd do those, but I never really dressed up as a kid. I remember I was the earliest memory I was a sheep once, but it was because it was the previous year's Christmas costume, like for the school
That's
play, and
such
it
a-
was just like, fuck it, reuse it, put the little fuzzy ears
So
on.
hold
it
on.
was
I
like,
think that's right. You were a sheep.
mm-hmm.
Was your dad a sheep herder?
Might have been. I don't think my dad dressed up. I don't think my mom dressed up either. But it was just, that was the only real costume that I remember having.
What the hell?
I think we went over this though. I never really wanted to dress up as anything. And I never really wanted to go door to door to get candy.
Is it because you wore a gi all day, every day for your
It's
classes?
because I was already in sandals and a kimono, and it was rough. So we're gonna have a bunch of like Asian people write in and be like, kimonos are for women.
Yeah,
That's fine. Nobody else knew.
yeah. I just said gi 'cause that's what I think. That's what people use when they play or when they.
When they play karate.
No. Yeah, exactly. Coming from the guy in a fucking one piece or I guess
Yeah.
2-piece fucking Buzz Lightyear
No,
costume.
it's, the rest of it's a one piece.
Yeah,
It's a one
it's like a
piece and,
onesie.
yeah. It's a one piece and like a fetish mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never what?
I was gonna say, what's Joe's kid name again?
Jackson?
Jackson. What did he think of your costume?
Oh, I didn't wear it. He didn't see me in it.
You didn't see it?
Nah, I
Oh,
didn't see
okay.
it, nah.
Oh,
Because I thought that would be
wrong.
pretty awesome for him to
Disgusting.
see that.
Yeah, whiskey and Reese's cups do not mix.
I don't think chocolate and with whiskey in general go well together.
Oh, that's awful. I'm gonna have to drink more to get that out of my mouth.
I could put something.
Said every woman who's ever met me. So how
That's a little
old?
bit of amount of women.
Like 3. So you guys have been trick or treating, I did push RJ around in a stroller like at 1. I think he was like a lion one year. I know he was Eeyore another year.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's awesome.
How old is too old to trick or treat?
I still did it in high school,
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember like.
but I know I
16.
didn't get a lot of candy though.
I want to say like I went to like 16. That's more of just because you didn't go with your family at that point. You went with your friends.
Yeah.
And like you said, they wouldn't give you that much candy. They'd be like, "You're fucking old. What are you doing here? You could drive, you piece of shit. What are you doing?"
So what were you at 16? What was the last?
Probably was something stupid like I think Scream was out around that time.
Oh, okay, so you got
So
the
I
Scream.
probably had the
mask,
Scream mask or like
No, that's junior high, man. Because I was Scream like in elementary.
I mean, probably you reused it. I mean, we have fucking reusable costumes that are crazy at
Yeah, I
our house.
reused my lamb costume at like 5. It's probably around the time you guys.
Can we see a picture of that? Can you find?
I would have to find. Back then we didn't have pictures.
Oh, okay.
We had stone tablet. What was your last trick or treat door to door costume? Because obviously, like we've still dressed up, but more like for parties and getting drunk.
I honestly can't recall. Like I don't. What was something that was popular in between 2003 and 2007?
Drinking.
That's what we were doing.
Okay, I meant
That's what I
like
was
in
doing.
pulp culture or like in the film and
2003.
like that. I really don't know.
2007.
Whatever was probably popping at that time. That's probably what I was.
And Ninja Turtle.
September
No,
11th.
I don't think I ever was a Ninja Turtle. You were.
I was a Ninja
you
Turtle
were a
for
Ninja
sure.
Turtle.
Were you?
Yeah, my mom handmade that costume.
I was like, I remember I have a picture of myself. I don't know if it was me or you actually, but one of us were Alvis. Was it
I
me?
think it was you.
It was
Yeah,
probably me,
I think it was
okay.
me.
You were. I think you were Biggie around.
I was Biggie.
Oh, that was like a
07
few years
time.
ago.
No, that was a while ago. That was like when I lived with Rick.
Yeah,
Oh,
at
okay.
least 5-6 years ago.
Like that well, you
Yeah,
can't,
that
you
exact
can't see it,
outfit.
but that
Yeah, well, yeah,
exact
just
outfit.
like our. No, it's right there behind you.
Oh yeah, that's.
It's
You
not.
still have
made
that sweater? I
of
was actually gonna ask you about that. Like, if
Yeah, I
that
still have it.
sick. I probably don't want to be that one of these years.
What was your favorite costume?
My favorite costume?
Gumby.
Oh, that's yours. My favorite costume.
Sorry, I just spoke out.
When I was Scotty Nguyen,
Scotty Nguyen.
the poker
The
player.
Yeah.
I thought that was
With the
pretty good.
with the curly ass
With the
hair.
curly ass hair, I had the hat on that had the Poker Stars little logo.
Yeah.
Is that at Rick's house? Were we partying at Rick's?
No,
That
we
was
were
Mr.
at Mario's.
Peter's.
No, it was Mario's house.
It was
Or
Mario's
not
house?
That was Josie's house. I mean.
Josie's house.
Yeah.
I do remember that actually.
And if you guys don't know who Scotty Nguyen is, look him up. He's one of Kevin's cousins.
Me familiar. I don't have a favorite.
Well, yeah, you have the sheep costume. You just told us like
Yeah,
three
I
times.
guess that would be my favorite costume. I
That's
remember
such-
one year I was Jack Skellington. I painted my whole head white, and I did the like dark eyes, and it works out for a bald guy. Like 'cause you
Really
just
well, I'm sure.
cover your whole head in white paint. But the problem was you
Have to wash it off.
You got to take a shower that night. Do not go straight to bed.
So we had a I don't know, last week or 2 weeks ago, Joe had a Halloween party, whatever, right? And everyone got all trash, whatever. But she painted her face, and I guess she got so drunk she just like went to sleep.
Right.
And she said her whole face was like on her pillow. Like
Yeah.
they had to throw away the fucking. They washed it and it didn't come out because like the ink or whatever didn't wash away.
Tell Joe my bad I didn't go to. I got too drunk because that was the day of
It's
the
alright.
of the Dodgers fucking going.
That was the Dodgers.
18 innings, dude. I was
No, that wasn't the game. They won 18 innings. That was the day they beat the.
Yeah, they went.
That was Game 7 of the NLCS.
They went.
It went 9 innings. We didn't go extras. The positive side.
Yeah,
You're probably right, actually. It wasn't this Saturday.
it was Saturday.
Yeah, that was. It was
Not
that.
this past Saturday.
No,
It was
they
2
went. They
Saturdays
went
ago.
18 innings on Friday night.
Yeah.
The night before.
Okay, I don't know that. Never mind.
You're a liar.
Sorry,
No,
Joe.
that's the one they scored. They scored enough runs. It was over pretty quickly. But with trick or treating now,
Who's a trip?
you're a treat.
Yeah.
I'm
an
actually a
entree.
snack.
I'm an entree. I'm big.
You're a full course.
portion, yeah.
You're a full course meal.
I'm an all-you-can-eat buffet.
As now, okay. So here's the other thing. Because I never really trick or treated. Do you remember your parents going through your candy, making sure that they weren't cut up or they didn't have like razor blades and syringes?
Like, for real, like, how fucked up of an individual do you have to be to fucking do some shit like that to a kid?
Well, okay. So the answer to your question is real fucked
I
up.
know, so, like,
Real fucked up.
that...
Now, my question to you is, do you realize how many really fucked up people there are in this world?
I mean, getting older, obviously, now, yes, but that's just crazy. I mean, yeah, I do remember my mom telling us, like,
Go through it.
look through it or whatever, but, I mean, I was I remember that being older when I was younger. Probably maybe she.
She went through it.
I think
so-
she made us throw out the pillowcase and like kind of lay it out and like see it.
Go
like,
through it.
Yeah. I don't think we really touched it. We kind of just like let it, like what we can see on top.
Yeah. I mean, I remember.
We didn't die.
Yeah.
So we're good
Thank God.
so far.
Yeah. I remember Tyrone, his kids came over to my house one time and we all went trick-or-treating in the neighborhood. When we got back, Selena was like, dump out all the candy. We're going through it piece by piece. And it was really the first time that I thought, like, fuck yeah, we gotta go piece by fucking piece through this candy to look for open pieces, razor blades. But then I also started thinking about it. You put a razor blade in a piece of candy, how the hell are you supposed to, like, you would have to look like closely at each piece to identify it. I shave my head with like disposable razors and stuff, and they're super thin, like paper thin. I could slide one into a piece of candy and the kid probably wouldn't know.
Can we talk about what I don't know if you guys got it, but I got like little toothbrushes and toothpaste and my
The shit.
like you don't
gifts.
realize what you're getting. Like they
Yeah,
just
people just throw it
they
in.
just throw it in. Exactly. I've got.
Hey, bro, if no fucking kids come this year, that's what they're getting next year.
Razor blades?
99 cents. No,
Oh,
fucking toothbrushes,
Let's
asshole.
clarify.
Yeah,
You probably should. Well, they don't come anyway, so you
yeah.
don't need them.
I have like 6 of them. I'll just throw them out there and be like, pick one, choose wisely.
One year, I swear to God, one year, I'm going to give away all of the ketchups and mustards and
Packets?
radishes and barbecue sauces that I have
The
left
Taco
over.
Bell sauce.
Dude, I have
Oh.
I have a fucking bowl of them. One of these years, I'm just gonna start giving away hot sauces and shit.
That's an awesome
I
thing to do.
be hilarious.
I think I'm gonna give away cup of noodles.
That would be a cool one.
Get like the 30 for
Yeah.
$15 or whatever it is.
They come out to like a quarter a piece when
Yeah.
you buy a big ass thing. One thing that I never thought about giving out, and I think one of these years I probably will, is go to Costco and get like the big juice boxes. You always got candy, but you never got anything to drink.
Like apple
with it.
juice or something like
Yeah,
that?
just
Yeah.
throw some fucking apple juice.
That'll be
What
pretty
kid
cool,
doesn't
yeah.
like fruit punch, right?
I don't think well, you think their parents would be cool with that? Like they're probably gonna like squeeze it to make sure no shit comes out because they don't want you like
Well, that's their
injecting
problem.
fucking whatever.
Well, that's the
you
thing
know?
with the candy though. You can't.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You could.
But the thing
put
with the juice,
semen
you can
all
actually
over
see
candy
that
if
if
you
it's
want to.
leaking, and you know that. there's
Really,
a
out of
hole in it.
everything you could have thought of, that's what you thought of.
I actually thought of cyanide, but I don't know why.
That's out of everything you could have said. Like that's.
Okay, so you can put cyanide on candy, but
Oh, look at Ryzon. Hey, Ryan, thanks for our first W, bro. Appreciate it.
way to go, Slump Buster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I think he's off.
fucker. What is your favorite type of candy, and what do you remember being the shittiest thing you got?
So I'm glad you asked this question. So I saw a top 5, Tom McShay or Adam Schefter, I don't remember who it was, his top 5 candies, right? And I was all infuriated. I was
You
like,
got mad, huh? You got
That's some
fired
bullshit.
up.
Oops, I'm sorry, I don't know what I did.
All good.
So my favorite candy is easily Kit Kat. For me, Kit Kat is the shit. Like that's the reason why there's some on the side.
I was about to
Don't
say
fucking
that.
touch those
I
assholes.
grabbed one. I'm
That's
sorry.
fine.
I'll
But
go.
that's the reason why I took those out specifically because I wanted to eat them later. My next favorite would be M&M's.
Okay.
Okay.
Peanut or
Peanut, bro. There's
Okay.
no such thing.
Listen, there's pretzel, there's
Yeah.
peanut butter. I just
No.
to
You're
clarify. I'm
weird
not
if you don't
saying-
like the peanut. Just put that.
Peanut, bro.
Okay.
Peanut.
Gotta have the nut in it.
Worst fucking candy.
He's making fun of me for putting nuts on candy, and then all of a
I
sudden
mean,
he's
most
like,
girls
yeah, it's
agree
gotta
that they
be
do
that
want
one.
nuts.
First off, I'm putting those nuts in my mouth. You were putting them on little kids' candies.
Well, you're dressed as Bud Lightyear. So
A buzzed Lightyear.
Buzzed Lightyear. Okay.
Wasn't there a meme of some guy like a Buzz Lightyear, but it was like Bud Light?
Bud Lightyear. Bud Lightyear.
Yeah, there you go.
The wrinkle in his costume, it's actually
Indicates-
says Light Tyler.
Oh, you're the wrong way.
Yeah, there we go. There it is,
I'm a
Lightyear.
big guy. What do you expect? The worst candy, I would probably have to say like candy corn or like
You don't like candy
I don't
corn?
like candy corn
disgusting,
either,
bro.
Like, I won't go out and get a bag of candy corn, but you know how they come in those little, like, 5 pieces of candy corn in the little thing?
Nope.
I'll eat those all day.
If you don't want to accept candy corn, I think almond joy is pretty disgusting.
Okay. Almond Joy and Mounds, and I'm actually going to put York in there, those mint chocolate ones. That's not candy. That's like toothpaste. Sai? Shitty candy first, and then we'll talk about
Shitty can. I think you guys said everything I would have said.
I'll be original.
I don't know. Can I give you what I actually do like though?
Sure, because that's the
I honestly
question
don't like
asked.
the typical stuff though. I like sour candy, so
Okay.
I eat like the sour belts.
Mm-hmm.
Those are amazing. I like,
Ooh, the sour Skittles are fucking bomb.
that's
I
what I was
have
about to
those
say
too,
right
those
now.
are
good.
I
Yeah,
like
sour
sour.
Skittles
I
are
like
bomb.
sour Skittles. Everything I'm gonna say, most of what I'm gonna say is sour. Sour Skittles, sour belts,
Sour Patch
um,
Kids.
Sour Patch Kids.
Those are good too.
I do love M&Ms and Reese's peanut butter cups.
Okay.
Those are all like my top. But my ones I don't dislike, honestly, you guys said them all. Like
Yeah,
I really can't recall.
Saltwater taffy, I can't do. I think that's
I don't even
that's
know
just
what the fuck that
nasty.
is. The Tootsie Roll. I don't like that.
I'll eat it.
I can do it too.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah, I'll fuck with the Tootsie
I like the flavored ones though, but not the original.
Oh yeah.
the chocolate ones.
Yeah. Was it chocolate?
Yeah, chocolate.
You don't like the chocolate
Nah,
ones? They
it
have
just
like the
tastes odd.
vanilla. They have
Not the
like
vanilla. I like the
strawberry, the blue
strawberry, and the red, orange, and green. That's it.
Okay.
But the other ones are nasty.
Jolly Ranchers, I gotta throw in the top two. I like Jolly Ranchers.
Fuck, I forgot about
Hey, but
that.
for real,
Yeah.
nerds are like some of my
Oh.
favorites. But I only like the nerds in the little boxes. Because nerds in the big boxes, I don't know. It's
You get
just different.
tired of them after.
Yeah,
a while, like,
but I'm
oh
down to
my
fuck with
God.
some nerds in the little boxes for sure.
I definitely will put the peanut M&Ms up there. I actually like just getting down on just a traditional, snack size Snickers. Like
Snickers are
there's
really
something
good.
about them that's
So
bomb.
the homegrown podcast just wrote back in my day, mid '90s. My parents would give Elise an AOL CD as a joke. Hey, when are you guys gonna
Yo,
come on,
I
man?
want to say I got that too.
You got an AOL
I
CD?
think so. Yeah.
The fuck?
like 100
Because
free minutes or
because
what?
I was like in junior high when the computer was actually getting like really popular, like
And you
with
had to- you had to
MySpace and all
download it
that.
and
Yeah,
So I used to go. There used to be,
those computer cafes.
yeah, like before, like everybody had laptops, and he would go fucking there and spend hours there, dude. Like fucking playing video games and on MySpace.
Really?
Well, okay.
And building his profile and probably talking to chicks.
It's funny that you brought that up because mom actually brought this up recently. She's like, she would actually leave me. She would actually pay them more money. Like say like it costs $20 to have me there for like 4 hours. Just say that.
Yeah.
She would pay like 30, like $10 extra, be like, just watch him. So they would be like my babysitter. Like if my mom would go to the bar or whatever, like whatever she
That's
went.
awesome.
I
Anyway,
don't
so
know,
I would
that's-
pay like.
That's awesome. That's illegal.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys didn't grow up on it, but like I grew up playing like Counter Strike and World of Warcraft and Call of. No, it was Call of Duty. It was like something else.
No, we
Anyway, those
actually
were all
had
internet
cars.
games. Though I'm just trying to say, I
Yeah.
grew up on that time that's when the internet games were
Yeah.
popping. And
The Homegrown podcast said they hated the houses with the grandmas that gave away the granola bars.
So I was about to say one of the hated candies because along with I've got the granola bars and the fucking.
What about those little strawberry?
Yes,
ones?
that's exactly what I was about to say. No, those strawberry ones. It was like I don't even know where they came from. I never knew anybody that ever bought them, but they were always around. Always around.
So
oh, the wrapper that's like
Yes,
a strawberry.
Yes, they were always around. I don't know who
I
fucking
don't know
bought
where
them.
you can find them at. So
The 99-cent store.
So the other day I was at work, and for those of you who have listened to the podcast, and for Cy who has not, my job has on every floor several vending machines, and everything in that vending machine is a quarter. So your bag of M&Ms, everything, and they're normal size Snickers.
I remember
M&Ms.
this. This was the podcast you started your job, right?
I fucked up and put in the wrong number, and this Munch bar fell, and I had seen this thing.
The fuck's a munch bar?
Well, let me get to that. So I had seen this candy, and I swear to God, I thought of grandma candy. Like, ew, it's like a granola, healthy, like, wannabe fake candy. So I had avoided it like I avoided the plague or fat girls at the bar. Just stay away from them. But this one accidentally, like a fat girl at the bar, fell into my lap.
Story of my life.
So I said, all right, let me open this bitch up like a fat girl at a bar and see what it's all about.
Did it stink?
I wasn't pumped up, right? I'm like,
Neither
fuck,
am
got
I,
the
but I still do it.
I got the wrong fucking thing. I pushed the wrong button. So I opened it up and it's peanuts, and it's in like a peanut butter toffee. So all right, let me try this thing. I ate it. Let me tell you, everything in the vending machine's a quarter. So when I put my dollar in, I pushed the wrong fucking thing. Popped it open. I tried it. I went back, I took the 3 extra quarters and about 3 more Munch bars. They're the fucking best thing
Really?
on earth.
So that's your new favorite candy right now.
Right now. It's a fad.
Got
I'm not
it.
putting it number 1, but do you like Mr. Goodbar? Because I get down. Chocolate and peanuts.
Yeah,
that's
Mr.
it.
Goodbar,
Real
or
simple.
even like Hershey's with peanut, like, you know.
Real simple, right? Mr. Goodbar's peanut ratio is a
That's
lot
the yellow
higher.
one, right?
Yes.
Oh, that one's amazing.
So the Munch
I like the
bar is
Nestle
like,
Crunch too. I'm not sure. Let's see the red one with the red wrapping. I can't think of the name of it. It's very similar.
So it's the M, right?
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So, so I got down, I tried the Munch bar. It was like a peanut, but it was full of peanuts, and it had the peanut brittle in between it. It was bomb. It was really good. I actually spent $1 to get 3 more of them, and I ate them all that day.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, you know what? If next time I went back, I bought them all. They haven't reloaded them
Because
yet.
they're 25 cents.
They're
right?
25 cents.
Well,
a fucking ball.
I bet you what happened was they're like, this one never moves, so they haven't put an order in for it. And then all of a
Right,
sudden
and
it's
now
all
it's all
gone. They're like,
gone.
oh, we need to replace it.
And so it'll be like a month before they come back. But when they do, I'm gonna bring you a fucking Munch bar, dude. They are fucking.
So, homegrown podcast. Which one? We want to know when you guys are gonna come on.
Yeah,
you
for
guys,
real.
You guys gotta come promote your shit.
Homegrown, is that like about weed and stuff?
I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what it's about.
We would have to
Yeah,
ask them, but
yeah.
they're not on the show.
But he did bring up an interesting point because when I used to work at the mall, when I sold phones, he said that he used to make fun of kids that used to go to the mall and trick or treat until he did it. Dude, a lot of kids trick or treat at the mall.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a safer way of doing it. Like, you know,
I can see that. Yeah, I can see the safeness, but who gives candy away?
All the stores?
all the stores, yeah. So like your boss will be like, hey, go buy this and we'll write it off or we'll reimburse you or whatever. And you just buy a bunch of candy and you pass it out till fucking it's gone. And there's a bunch of little kids parading around the mall and like I said, it's a safer way to do it. I mean, you're not in the fucking streets.
But is this every mall or is it just?
Yeah, I would say every mall.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been to. I don't obviously don't have kids.
I
so.
should ask my homie because he works at the mall. He works at Stonewood.
Stonerwood. That's what we used to call it.
Stonewood.
I actually haven't been to a mall. No, I take that back. I was at a mall today, but I don't spend time at the mall anymore.
Yeah, you just buy shit on Amazon. It's easy.
I really do. I've been doing Amazon. Been doing Amazon wardrobe. It's kind of cool. You like order clothes.
Wardrobe?
You have to get 3 items. Not everything is on wardrobe. You order 3 items. They get delivered. Whatever you don't want, you mail back, and they don't charge you. Whatever you keep, you get charged for.
They have a return
A
label.
return
already.
label. You don't have to pay for it. It's just send it back. That's pretty cool. I mean, because like with dress clothes, I know exactly what size. It's not like I have to buy a large, and larges vary. It's
17 and a half and
Mhm.
yeah.
So how
Yeah.
quick does it come? Is it Prime? Amazon Prime?
It comes in like 2 days, 3 days. Yeah. I mean, you order it, you're not paying for it until you keep something. So it doesn't get charged to you.
Okay.
Comes, you look at it, okay, try them on. Yeah, this is cool. It works for dress clothes. That's what I've been doing it for. But just side note. So it's Halloween, if we haven't covered that already with all of the candy talk and things like that.
I am encouraged that we had a lot of people kind of commenting on what. You know, I was worried that it's Halloween, not many people are going to be
Out, yeah.
you know,
Most
I'm
people
sorry,
are
everyone's
out.
gonna be out and about, not
Right.
many people are gonna be able to watch. We've got some good traffic.
I think with it being on a Wednesday, most people didn't go out. You know what I mean? Like if it was on a
You might
Friday,
not maybe earlier.
yeah, I wouldn't be here, you know, because we'd be out doing a party or something like that. I'm sure you'd be DJing somewhere.
I'd be drunk for sure.
Well, we are going to the Gardens after this, correct?
Be
We
garden
always
bar.
do. Now the question is, which one is gonna sponsor us?
Well, they're the same owner, so it doesn't really matter.
So you'll be going to the Pico one. Then.
Yes.
All right. Tacos.
No.
Gardens Bar and Grill
Wednesday,
tacos.
so it's
are the
wings.
Fucking best.
But they stopped serving food at 10, right?
I think 11.
Oh, okay.
we can put the order.
It's
in.
Whiskey Wednesday though, too, though.
Yeah, $5. $5 whiskeys.
Gardens Bar and Grill.
Yep.
Rivera.
Check it out.
We'll be
Telegraph.
there. Come hang out.
So, it's Halloween. It's scary. Ooh.
I'm scared.
Are you?
Yeah, I feel like you're gonna whip your dick out right now.
I might. That's definitely frightening. The quintessential question, the question for the ages. Do you gentlemen believe in ghosts?
Me?
It doesn't matter. We'll toss it out to the Vasquez boys.
I believe there's something. I don't know what it is, but can I share a story of some?
No, you're not allowed to come on this podcast and share stories.
Got it. So there's this one time. Have you guys heard of Gravity Hill in Pasadena
Yep.
or Altadena? I don't forget wherever.
We've been there, right?
No, we went to the Haunted Forest.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a wait. Not you didn't go to the insane asylum that's up top.
That's the Haunted Forest. We never made it that far. The
Oh,
police
because you have
came.
to
Yeah,
walk
police
up.
came
And your ex-girlfriend almost got us all arrested.
Yeah,
and
remember
she
she
was
stood
like,
up?
"You're not towing my car." We're like, "Get the fuck down! They're not towing anyone's
Yeah.
car."
That's why we're not together anymore.
Yeah,
That and all the bad shit that I did.
yeah.
Again, Richard, which ex-girlfriend was this?
It's not
Doesn't
important.
matter.
No, we don't
Doesn't
name
matter.
names.
I'm just kidding. So
LaFawn.
I actually had went with our cousin Erica. This
Okay.
was I want to say it was around high school, maybe 19 or so. I had the Focus.
I
That,
remember you
that
were in
little-
high school at 19.
I said high school or so. I don't know if I was 19. Anyways,
Did you get held back that I didn't know about?
remember the Focus, the little.
Of course I remember the Focus.
Yeah, exactly. So I had that car at the time. I went up there with my cousin Erica and two of her friends and my friend Angie, and we wanted to test out this theory of when you're at the bottom of the hill. The legend says that there's these kids. Well, I don't know how it happened, but pretty much the kids died or something, like with the bus being blown up or something, because they didn't go up the hill to some field trip. I don't know. Again, I don't know the myth or whatever. Pretty much, we wanted to test it out. I put my car neutral. When you put your car neutral, you go up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
I did the first 2 times, didn't work. The third time, we started going up the hill. No one believed me. I'm telling you, I have a stick shift car, so that I,
Mhm.
you know, you
No,
have-
neutral's neutral.
exactly. And I put my feet up on the dashboard,
Oh,
and
that's
people,
kinky.
people were tripping out because they thought I was lying, but I'm like, no. Next thing you know, the windows start fogging up, and you start seeing these handprints all over the window. So that's the myth that the kids
Were
are.
you sure you weren't doing anything? Maybe not our cousin, but the other
Yeah, it
girls that were in
sounds
the car.
like it sounds like
Not that
you were
night.
having sex.
It was not Titanic sex, but you know, it was. No, I'm just kidding. No, it wasn't anything, dude. It was honestly we went through. Erica was sober. Like none of us had drank that night or did anything.
Hmm.
Erica can testify this. Dude. She was there.
I feel like we should call her.
I think
Call her
we
right
should.
now.
Rich, do you believe in ghosts, sir?
Yeah, I do. I feel like my apartment was haunted. Like
Which one?
My,
Oh, in
yeah,
Long Beach?
Long Beach, yeah. Like it was just weird. Like you would get
Like
like
you would just see eyes and teeth walking past the window?
okay,
at
so
night.
like in my room, the what?
Well, I lived with him for a minute, so
Why-
I didn't
why
You
really
would just see
experience that.
eyes and teeth walking past your window at night?
I know, I get it. It's not.
No, okay.
So I moved on. So I was in my room, and there's like these big windows, right? I'm sorry, not windows, like mirrors that are my sliding.
Mhm. They were your closet doors.
Closet doors, exactly. So I'd be laying there, and I'd be like asleep, and like kind of like I would wake up, and I would feel like weird reflections would be coming off it. Now you could obviously just say that's like off the window that's next to it,
Mhm.
but they were like not in areas where the window like
Yeah.
touched. You know what I mean? It was like lower or like in a different corner. And then like sometimes I'd go to sleep and I'd feel like somebody's pushing on my bed.
Hmm.
And
What was her name?
well, you know, I was talking about the big girls
Oh,
earlier,
okay.
so maybe
Yeah.
she was just getting to get something a snack in the fridge. I don't know. But yeah, dude, I fucking kind of like freaked out a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, I've never had any encounters with Mingo. I never experienced that. What Sai said earlier, but
D says, "Hey boy, hey."
oh, that's my boo right there.
Yeah.
We're-
and
we're-
on, and
we're
on
official.
Halloween, you can officially call her your
My boo.
boo.
Dun-dun-dun-bah.
So I believe in ghosts, and I have a long. I lived in a haunted house for a year, and most people won't believe me when I tell the story because everybody's experienced a ghost type thing. What was interesting was that at that time I wasn't married to RJ's mom, but we were living together, and we were actually living with Vic and Kim.
Mm.
And we had moved into this place, we were renting it, and the shower head there sucked. So I changed.
Like you're
that.
talking about the shower, not
The
shower,
shower.
not being in the shower,
not with by yourself.
I just want to make sure. I
No,
want
no.
to make sure that the audience knows what you're
No,
talking about.
the shower head game was fine. The shower head showering,
Sucked.
it was, yeah. So Rich can attest to the fact
Whoa,
that
whoa, whoa!
I'm.
I can attest to what? Explain.
Let me finish.
Okay, that's that we tried to, but you take too long.
Well, I do it for effect. Plus, we have to insert the laughter, and so Rich can attest to the fact that I'm halfway decent with doing around the house maintenance.
All right.
So I replaced the shower head, put a new one on that kind of had like the different settings, rather than just the pour. And the minute we turned it on, water pressure, none. The water wouldn't come out through the new shower head. So we take it off, and I tried different things, and it wouldn't work. So, whatever, we put the old shower head back on, and it was a duplex, so our portion of the house was up front, and there was a back portion. And we would hear at night, like, the kids laughing next door. The people who lived behind us were also the landlords. They owned the house, and he was a soccer coach at a high school. So we assumed that he would have the kids from his team over, spend the night.
No
what I
kids
mean.
ever over.
And that's what didn't make sense is we asked him one time, like, hey, we heard you guys having the kids over, and he looked us square in the face and was like, what kids? And we said, well, we heard kids laughing and playing. And his wife came out of the back house and basically told us, oh, those are just the ghosts.
Serious face and all.
Straight-faced, completely, like, not fucking around with us, like, just matter-of-factly.
Like
Those are the
nonchalant,
ghosts.
just like it was a normal thing.
And we said, what do you mean? She's like, oh, those are just the kids that play. And she goes, don't worry. All you have to do is go like to a farm and you get an egg. You just have to get a natural egg. And then you take it and you put it in the holy water from a church. And then leave that by the door. And she just started going into this whole process of what we should do. Now, I stopped listening to the steps of what it can do and started thinking to myself, what the fuck is going on right now? Like I just tuned out and went, what the hell is she talking about? She's like, yeah, they won't bother you, don't worry. And it wasn't much consolation. Like, I am worried. You're talking about ghosts. And she was like, yes, there's ghosts in the house.
Straight face and all, huh?
And so, at the time, RJ's mom and I, we kind of looked at each other like, what the hell are we supposed to do? Vic and Kim, we kind of all gathered in the living room and
We need to
kind
move
of
out.
like, what the fuck is going on? And so we really started paying attention to those things that you dismiss.
The creaks, the fucking
We
the
started
noises.
really paying attention to them. And there was an evening. Did you ever go to the house? So you
I don't remember. I remember you living there.
When you walked in, the front door to the right was like the kitchen, to the left was the living room. So, just think that when you open that front door, there's a left and there's a right, and it's a long walkway. So the four of us are sitting, and we're watching TV, and it's at night. And we hear the sound of, and all four of us looked at each other because what we heard were footsteps running from the other side of the house. And mind you, it's not a mansion, it's not far. We're talking 20 feet in the other direction, ran right through our living room. It started on the hardwood floor of the kitchen and ran past us, the four of us, sitting and watching TV. And we all looked at each other, and no one said anything,
It's
but we
left.
all knew what the fuck had just happened. Something ran between the couches where we were sitting, between the four of us. It ran past us. We all heard it, we all looked at each other, and we all knew something is fucking wrong.
That's crazy, dude. Like,
And so people have, you know, I've told this story before, and people have told me like, oh, whatever, yeah, it's probably just the creaking of the house. It's probably just this. It's probably just that. And I literally, I say, okay, I don't care if you're trying to dismiss it. I lived it. I know what it's like to have those types of spirits in your home. I've heard them. I've heard them laugh. I've heard them play. I've heard them run. I know that they're there in that specific house. I've lived with them.
So what are your emotions towards it? Like, what is it? How does it make you feel?
It is creepy. It still gives me the chills. But I remember at the time not, and this was maybe, let's see, RJ's 8, so maybe 10 years ago. I never had the feeling of fear. Creeped out, yes, but not like there's a ghost screaming from the other room.
not like they were trying to harm you.
It never felt dangered. It was always kind of just an eerie, something's weird feeling. And I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying that it was fun, but it sure was an experience. And I don't exactly know what type of ghosts. They were kids. I don't know if maybe because they were kids they weren't threatening. But it was seriously, it was a creepy experience because you not only had the feeling, it's not like something was watching you, there was tangible evidence that other people experienced as well, and you can verify it. Like, I remember looking at Vic and Kim, and they looked at me, and it was like,
Everybody heard the same thing.
yeah,
Everybody
it was
felt the
just
same
like,
thing.
no one really had to be like, what the fuck? Oh, it sounded like, we just went, oh God, like you just knew. And I guess if you're gonna look at something positive, I never had that fearful, like, God, something's gonna kill me. Nothing's gonna possess somebody to murder somebody. They were kids, they would play, laugh, run, goof off, be kids. But I certainly wouldn't trade that and go back to it, because it was creepy. And
Yeah, like I said, when I was in my bed, like I'd be sleeping and I felt like somebody was like you know when someone like sits on your bed or like it's like getting up and you could feel like I would feel that
movement, yeah.
It would be fucking weird, and I was like, dude, this apartment's fucking haunted.
Mhm.
But like you said, I never felt like nervous or scared about it. It just was like, huh, all right, well, I won't bother you, don't bother me, we're good. Like,
And another situation I had, you remember my old house?
yes,
Up in Uptown Whittier.
yeah,
This was a weird one. This one was kind of creepy. So across the street, my neighbors Ephraim and Vanessa used
Yeah.
to live there. And I was over there talking with them one time. I'm in their yard. And I look back at our house, and an old man was walking up our steps. And from their house, once you walked up the steps, the front of the house blocked
yeah, I remember.
the actual front door. So I saw the old man walk up our steps,
So you thought he would be,
ringing the doorbell and waiting. So I start walking back to go home. And when I got there, there was no old man. And I talked to RJ's mom. I said, what did that old man want? And she said, oh, what old man? Like, no one came to the door. And I was like, weird. I saw an old man across the street. And she was like, she told me, no one's been here. And it was really weird. It was like, I don't know, I dismissed it as I was seeing things, like it tripped me out. Within a month, and I don't remember the specifics of it, I'm out I'm out front, I'm mowing my lawn, and this little SUV pulls up, like a little Ford Escape or whatever it might be. And this old white man and this old lady get out of the car. And I say, hi, and they're like, hi, this used to be our house. And I said, oh, okay. And she starts telling me, I used to live here when I was a little kid. My dad put the wall up in the back that separated the two backyards, and you know, when I was here, this was here and this was here. Do you mind if we look around? And I plainly told them, I'm not comfortable with you coming through my house, but I'm willing to walk around and I'm willing to let you in the backyard and kind of look. And she was like, oh, thank you. Like, I appreciate you letting us do something. She wasn't rude, but I just wasn't comfortable letting two strangers come through my home. And so we went in the backyard and she's telling me, oh, the fence, you know, the little bricks that separated the upper, my dad put that in, and none of these houses were here when we were kids. They built everything, and these poles, they weren't here, so the neighbor, you know, whoever bought it after us had to have put these in and this and that. And she goes, yeah, my dad recently passed away. And this was the house that we grew up in. He was the first owner, and he had it built, and he did all of this. And it occurred to me,
He was going home.
he was going home. It was after, and it wasn't at that time, it was after they left.
So you couldn't even ask if, does he look like this?
It was after they left. I told them thank you, and they were very, it was her home, and that was her husband. He never lived there, but, you know, she was saying, this is where me and my sister grew up, and blah, blah, blah. And so they left. They were very nice. We ended up taking pictures with them. And
Well, all old people want to take pictures. of
yeah,
them.
I don't know. And it was just kind of weird. Like, hey, you lived here, now we live here. It was weird. It was a weird experience, but I understand it. But it was after that they left that I started thinking of, it clicked into my head. The old man had to have been going home. And it was weird. It was a weird thing. And I felt bad. I honestly felt bad that I hadn't thought of it at the time that she was there, because I could have asked, you know, was he about this tall? He's a little hunched over. He was wearing blue pants, just a standard black t-shirt tucked in like every old man does.
Yeah.
Walking up the steps, and I don't know, but it was just, the coincidence of it was so weird. But you can't think of these weird things. I was focusing on who are these old people that are trying to murder us because they're asking to come through our house and all that stuff.
So my question is, A, were you doing any drugs around that time?
Actually, no, I was not.
2, really, were you doing any drugs around that time?
No,
Still a no? Alright.
still a no. I remember I stopped smoking weed for a long time. It was in that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had any like crazy experiences like that, but like I said, like I think my apartment was haunted. For sure.
I lived with you for a little bit. I didn't experience anything at all whatsoever.
Yeah, I guess maybe it was just my room. Maybe I was just freaking out. My fucking mind was playing tricks on me. I would come home drunk a lot, so.
Now, do they the opportunities for you to be involved with this ghost? Did they have to do, or did they correlate to drunk evenings?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't like say like, oh, for sure they were all this or
Like
all that.
Richard said, he was drunk all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
and like I said,
He
people,
lived,
When I lived in Long Beach,
he lived
of
walking
Yeah, of
distance
course.
from all the bars.
you know, people will. I've talked with people and they've dismissed. Oh, it was probably just this or probably just that you heard when you lived in a haunted house. And I go, okay. You didn't I dare you to live there. Like, experience it for yourself.
Did you hear
know.
anything? Did you hear anything weird after? Like, was there any like differences like in living there?
No. Are you talking about when we lived in the house with the kids, or when we lived in the house with the old man?
With the old man?
No, it wasn't like.
Like the dogs didn't change, or like.
Well, that was there were times where Maggie would just bark at the wall. That's always creepy. Whenever you have an animal, though, it's just weird. Like animals act different. They'll growl for no reason. But I would never put that into the proof category because we don't know what dogs think. But you have been around Maggie and you have been around Dory and you know what they were like. And there were plenty of times where we just sit there, be watching TV, and all of a sudden they would just like start growling at nothing. And you look around and you're like, what are you growling at? You go check it out, you know, grab my shotgun and run out there, see if I can clear a room, and there's nothing there. But I don't know if that's just animal or if it's they see something that we don't see. I'm hoping that it's just animal, but without being able to like communicate one-on-one, I can't say that that was part of it. If a dog was able to say, I fucking see something walking, and that's a different story, but a dog's a dog, you can't communicate like that. But there were a few times that kind of thing would happen. Those, I always take and I put them in the category of like, okay, that's how a dog reacted. I can't say that was part of it, but something. So yeah, it's just being around it a lot. I've been around it a lot. I've been around things that you can't see in those spirits, and it's just a weird, you just know what you know, and people will try and dismiss it. They'll call it the wind, but you know what? You know what you know, and you know what you feel, you know what you hear.
Did you ever go into those the abandoned what was the insane asylum right there in Downey? Did you ever go through those?
Oh no, I never went through that.
Oh,
Did
okay.
you? How was it?
It was just an empty building. I didn't
Yeah.
experience anything. But people have though. That's the reason why I went, like, to try to experience it. I didn't experience anything, like, you know, sounds. I mean, if I did hear a sound, it was just those stray cats that were going through. Because there's a ton of fucking cats in that area. Other than that.
Yeah, we went to look for the haunted forest where the insane asylum was, where the Satanists go and sacrifice things, but I mean, we actually never made it.
That's like a 2-mile hike, dude. You gotta like.
We didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
We were.
like you have to go through a whole forest. You have to go up.
Do you remember
this-
We took like swords, yeah.
like literal samurai swords and
Question:
knives.
were they
and-
your samurai?
Of course. Who else is gonna have fucking samurai swords in our group?
No.
Yeah, we took, and I think Rick still has one of those samurai swords.
And we took like these fucking bright ass flashlights.
Oh, we took it. I mean, we literally cleared out my like just the weapons that were legal, and I guess legal's a loose term, but just the knives.
Remember we
and
threw them on the
swords.
ground when the cops came, so they came and catch us.
We
Like,
didn't have swords in our hands.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck walks through there with swords? Like, we had legitimate long-ass samurai swords. But that didn't end up amounting to much.
yeah,
so.
we didn't get. Did we even get to the building?
We got like 100 yards in when the cops showed up.
It was pretty scary though.
But there was a shit ton of people coming out of that area.
And they were like, "Oh!" But I think they might have just been fucking with us.
Yeah, they were. But yeah, that was interesting. But I think we rolled like 20 people deep too. So
That's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we accounted for all of them.
we might have led. There's people. Oh no, they didn't stop.
They didn't stop.
They didn't.
They hit us.
Yeah. So that's my ghost story. Those are Richard's ghost story and Sai's sex story.
And I got ghosted by Deanna, so
Of
I guess
course.
all the ghost stories.
I
are
really
one.
should say sex story because my cousin was there.
Yeah, that's
a
true.
little Weird.
That's awkward for you. Not in Alabama.
What else we got?
So we're gonna shift gears a little bit here. Do you want to do a quick commercial break so we can pay some bills?
Yeah, that's fine.
Really, I have to pee.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's a rock. I
gotta pee
too.
Go ahead.
No, I mean.